Welcome to Pep Talk with Wendy Summers. This portion of the Pensacola Expert Panel is sponsored and presented by Pensacola Home Experts and your host, Bill Sheffield, who is responsible for the content. Views and opinions expressed do not necessarily represent those of News Radio 1620.
Welcome, Bill.
Welcome, Wendy. Oh, you're already here. I'm sorry. I'm the one that needs to say thank you for welcoming me. I appreciate that so much. Don's over there dozing because they got a new baby. I mean, he's getting a lot of sleep in that house over there. Tell us about Brandon.
Talk about the baby on the radio, really?
There you
Well,
go.
first of all, who's Don?
Oh,
Yeah,
Don.
he's Don.
I guess you better introduce who he is
thank
and
you
what
for
he's doing
welcoming
here.
me.
Don Copeland with University Lending, and Jason Weber's here today with University Lending Group.
Good morning.
Good to have you. You ain't got a baby, you got a baby. Tell us about Brandon.
I do. I have Brandon. He was born on the 16th, so what is that? Just over 2 weeks old?
Just 2 weeks old.
Sleeps good. He's a
Sleeps
good baby.
good. Oh, man. Big boy.
Yep. Big boy.
Got Tennessee already looking at him. So congratulations to you and Casey. I know
Thank you.
last time she was in here, she was way big.
Oh, yeah.
She's not big anymore, is
Well,
she?
she's about back to normal now.
Okay, well, that's a good thing. There's Miss Jennifer. How you doing? All right, we're going to talk about some things that's awful important to this market. Jason, did you know, I'm sure you know, that the first congressional district of Florida, which we're in, has the highest percentage of veterans of any congressional district in the United States of America? Did you know that?
I did not know that, but it doesn't surprise me.
Did you know that we have the highest number of military retirees of any congressional district in the United States of America?
I didn't know that, but that makes sense.
We're working with a Marine coming back to town, Don and I, right now. This is probably the last tour. You know, military, they sometimes when they get up in rank or years in service, kind of get to pick where they go the last time. And it's amazing to me how many we work with over time, and you too, that are coming here to buy a house, and guess where they're going to live?
Oh, yeah, they're looking at Pensacola.
Looking at Pensacola. It's a great place to live, especially for military retirees. We got all the amenities. We got the places where they can shop and golf and get well and go to doctors and everything else, both here and Eglin. So it's just a good place to be. So we're going to spend a little time talking about VA loans. Would that make sense to y'all?
That'd be great.
It would be.
That's why we brought Jason.
I know.
He's our VA expert.
He's the VA expert. That's good to know. So tell me, and I know, but what do you know the history of the VA loans, the VA home loans? You don't, do you? I can tell you because my daddy had one. It started after World War II. It was first called the GI Bill. You know, when all of the 13 million folks that served in World War II, this country decided it was time to pay them back. So they started the GI Bill. First it was education, but then it moved into loaning money for homes and providing good interest rates and supporting them and basically guaranteeing the loans, because a VA loan is guaranteed, correct, by the VA.
Correct.
So the banks love it because their risk is less.
That's correct.
That's correct. So you can't just say that's correct on the radio. You got to expand. I mean, it's going to be a long day if you keep saying that's correct. I promise you.
You're doing pretty well, Bill. Yeah, that's correct. The VA loan is a loan that's offered by private lenders, but it's backed by the VA. They call it a VA guaranteed loan because the VA, the Veterans Administration, offers lenders a guarantee that if the lender follows all the rules that the VA wants them to follow and issues a loan, if that loan goes into default, the VA helps that lender out.
That's true. And so but because of that, typically VA loans have lower interest rates. I mean, if you factor a 30-year VA loan compared to a 30-year conventional loan, typically they're going to be a little bit lower.
That's correct. I would say right now the VA loan is trailing behind lower than the conventional loans by at least 0.25%, in some cases 0.5%. And that's because the conventional loans are also more subject to fluctuation with people's credit scores. The VA loan has a smaller fluctuation with lower credit scores versus higher credit scores, and the conventional loans are very subject to a lot of fluctuation.
I know you just put me to sleep for a minute, so I'm going to wake up. I want to see if I can clear this up. So with a VA loan, you can qualify for a VA loan. My understanding is 620 credit score.
There's no credit score set by the VA, but each individual lender does set their own credit score, and it's generally 620.
Okay, so 620. Now, that's lower by a bunch of points than it was a year ago. Correct? I mean, it's a lot lower. So that's a good time to be. And I got a trick question for you, Don. I'm good with trick questions today. Can somebody get a VA loan? Let's say they're buying a $125,000, $30,000 house, and their income limits are such. Can they do a VA loan and get a grant to buy that home?
They can.
They can't. They can't do. They can.
Yeah, they got both.
Expand.
That's correct, Bill. There's actually several different programs. Two in particular we use that, and they actually, you can use that on top of a VA loan, an FHA loan, different loans.
I rest my case.
And you get
There
money
you
for
go.
down payment and closing costs.
I know, it's amazing. So now we got low interest rates. Now we got grant money, and now we have. Why would somebody not be calling us to buy houses? That's the major question we need to ask today.
We're just shrugging our shoulders.
I know we do. You can't see that on radio. Wendy, help me.
What do you want me to do?
I don't. They got to quit shrugging shoulders and nodding. I'm telling you, this ain't working.
See, Don knows better than this.
I love
Yes,
you.
Mama Wendy.
So it's just got to be the fact that they don't know it. I've determined that I'm doing everything I can. Y'all are doing everything you can to spread the word. So I guess we're just gonna have to start riding around on pickup trucks with a microphone sitting in the back, talking, riding down the road. Time to buy. Time to buy.
I think we are. There's just so many misconceptions, or people don't know what their credit is. They just assume they can't get a loan.
Yeah. So I got it. Y'all ready for another trick question?
Sure.
Okay. Ready?
Ready.
All right, here you go. Let's say somebody had a foreclosure or they had a house to go into short sale. How many years has to pass before they can requalify for a VA loan?
A VA loan, just 2 years.
Whoa! Did you say 2 years?
That's
Wendy,
correct.
my ear headset ain't working. I thought he said 2 years.
He did.
He did
working
say,
fine.
You said 2 years.
That's correct. Just a minimum of 2 years.
So all of those people that are sitting out there that had, God bless them, lost their homes. I mean, we fought for Bank of America for 18 months to keep ours. So I know what they went through. And a lot of people in the mortgage business know what they went through. So they lost their house 2 years ago. Okay? So now they can qualify for a VA loan.
Of course, all the usual caveats apply, but they'd have to reestablish credit. But that's why they need to call and talk to an expert, and we can help them with that.
Yeah. And a lot of them may have reached the limits to where they can qualify.
We do it all the time and help people with that.
What does it cost for someone to call either one of you to see if they can buy a house? What do you charge?
We don't charge anything.
You can't do business that way. How do you do that, Don? How do you not charge for advice?
We don't charge for advice. We're not going to get paid till that loan closes. So we obviously
So
do
we're
whatever it
kind
takes.
of like contingent attorneys.
Exactly.
We got to win first.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my point, Wendy. How did they call y'all? What number? How did they reach you? I mean, there's a bunch of ways. I know.
There's a bunch of ways.
Yeah.
First of all our cards have our cell phone numbers on them, so
All
we're
right.
available after hours. But our
Okay.
office number is 912-8002.
There you go. 9128. What do you say, Wendy? 912 what?
8002.
8002. Okay. So that would be the number to call to see. Now, here's my lesson for the day. Y'all ready? Got a pen? Write this down. The answer is always no until you ask.
That's correct.
Is that correct? That would be a true statement, wouldn't it? The
That's
answer
correct.
is always no until you ask. So the people are sitting out there, Wendy, not knowing, and the answer is no. You know why? They're not asking. If they would ask, I'm telling you, a fairly good percentage of people that think they cannot buy a house right now, Jason can buy a house right now.
They can. And if they can't right now, we're also willing to help them and work with them until they can.
As long as they are working with you.
Yep. We work as a team.
There you go. So let's see. You don't charge for them to call you for advice.
Bill, we've got a phone call coming in.
You do? Let's
Yeah.
see who this is. You're on the air. How can I help you?
Hi, Michael.
Hey, guys and gal. thought I'd help rescue a little bit.
Rescue.
Anyway,
Rescued
I
at
was
show
wondering,
before
how
us.
long of a work history do you have to qualify for a loan?
Oh, there you go. That's a good question. That would be a lending question.
Okay. Generally speaking, you've got to have 2 years work history in the same line of work.
Okay. And another follow-up question. If you were an ex-felon at any time in your life, does that have any on the loan process?
No, not at all.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, super. That helps.
There you go. So did you write their number down, Michael?
No, I didn't, but I have LEGACY.
No, sir. That's the wrong phone radio show.
Oh, okay.
What's that phone number?
Run it by me one more time.
All right. It is 912-8002.
Okay. You sound just like the guy that was just there before.
I know. Everybody says me and Carrie Coker sound alike.
Yeah.
You do a little bit.
All right. Well, thank you, Michael. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Michael.
And, Michael, you can also go to their website. It's university-lending.com, university-lending.com, and you can ask for any one of these wonderful gentlemen, Don, Copeland, if they want to ask for you, or your typical hours at the office are?
About
Do
11.
I have hours?
about 11 to 1, and then he goes to lunch.
Yeah, the office is pretty much 8:30 to 5. But
Okay,
like I
that's good
said,
to
most
know.
people have my cell too, because we work all the
Yeah,
time.
they're out like I am. I mean, most y'all spend about as much time at the office as I do. So, I mean, we go to y'all.
And I'll expand a little more on what Jason was saying. I mean, even if you switch jobs, say, in the last year, you just had to be in the same line of work for 2 years. You don't have to be at the same job.
Okay. Jason, I need you to write this down. Don, you got a pen? Wendy, you ready? Okay, here it goes. YOU can CAN buy BUY homenow.com. Now, you know what that does, Wendy? That's going to take them to a form that they can easily fill out. And it's going to give me their information. I'm going to find out. And this is, if you're paying rent right now or you don't know what you can buy, if you'll take the time to go there and click on and fill out the form, and just let me know either what rent you pay, Jason, or the monthly payment you're comfortable with. First of all, I'm going to email it to y'all so you'll have the information, and I'm going to email them homes that match that price range. And it amazes people. I hear back from them. They say, Bill, I'm paying $850 a month rent. And I send them 3-bedroom, 2-bath homes up to like $125,000 in Cordova Park area, and they're just ecstatic. They come back and say, Bill, what about you got in Pace? Same thing. So there's way more home available for what you're paying for rent than typically you could rent the house for. Most everything I'm seeing nowadays, because we manage a lot of properties at Main Street, is that your monthly payment's going to be lower than what you could rent the house for. And you get the tax benefits of it. So the combination of Main Street properties and university lending has proven itself over time. I know we've done together tons and tons and lots of loans. And I just love the combination to where if you were saying they need to do some things to get it straight, that's the benefit of working with somebody like us, because we're going to work with them. A lot of folks, you call them, and if you don't qualify, they're going to say, well, just call me back in 6 or 8 months.
That's right.
And you're not doing them any service. You're not helping those folks.
No, if they'll call us, what we'll do is we'll take an assessment of their credit, their income, their assets, and let them know what they qualify for. And if they don't qualify for something right now, we'll give them some ideas of what they can work on, and they can check back with us later. And then don't forget to go to youcanbuyahomenow.com and let Bill know what price range you're looking in.
There you go. It's a good system. Now, I know we've spent a lot of time, Jason, talking about VA loans, but I want people to understand that there is another 100% loan that's just geographic driven. Don, why don't you talk a little bit about rural development types of loans?
Okay, yeah, those are backed actually by the USDA. The biggest difference with them, and I kind of like this, is if the home appraises higher than the sales price, you can actually take that difference and use that money. Where nowhere else can we do that.
Right.
But that's the other 100% program, and it's just certain areas. I know those areas right now they're talking about changing, but right now it's like just north end of Escambia County and almost all of Santa
Don't say
Rosa.
north end of Escambia County because north of 10 Mile Road.
Well, yeah,
there's a whole lot of Escambia left, and outside of 11 Mile Creek. So that's a lot of geography covering Cantonment, covering all up where Kim Strand is, and a whole bunch of homes across there, and all of Santa Rosa County except Gulf Breeze
proper. That's right.
That's a lot of area.
It is.
There's a lot of houses in those areas, and sometimes if you can get that type of loan and you don't have down payment, might behoove you to move and consider that area.
That's true, and those rates are really, really good too.
All right, here's another trick question. You ready? Okay. I'm ready. Can you get bond money with a rural development loan?
You can.
So you can not only get 100% financing, you can
get money for the closing costs.
Up to 4%, up to $6,000 for all the closing costs.
That's right. There's actually two programs. There's another one to get you up to $7,500.
Whoa.
So,
man. Okay. And both of them, the first one we're talking about is a grant. There's no payback. The other one pays back in time, doesn't it?
The other one you just pay back if you refinance or sell your house.
Okay.
Except for that, you're not going to pay that one back.
Wow. So that lets them, from a real estate point of view, Jason, if I know that going in, if I know that my buyer's got that money for closing cost, I'm going to negotiate the price.
That's correct. If you don't have to ask the seller to pay your closing costs, then you can help them get a lower price on the house.
Yep, and even maybe slip a little bit of the seller's closing cost in there too, if you know what I mean. Pay all of the dock stamps on the deed and stuff like that. I mean, you give me $6,000 and I'll show you a way to spend it to benefit that buyer. And also, you know what else, Don? It helps the seller. Because we got good qualified people with the money to go to close, and
right.
That's important.
Absolutely.
So many times this day and age over the last several years, we close a high percentage, but there's just nothing more disillusioning in the world, Jason, and we've all had to go there, to where a week before closing something happens that you can't close on the house.
That's right, and usually the biggest challenge to closing on a house is verifying a buyer's funds to be able to close.
There you go.
So these programs that offer no down payment and closing cost assistance actually help make sure that home is going to close.
Mm-hmm. Are there right now there's no time limits on the ground. I mean, is it like run out in July or nothing like that that's in the works? I mean, so there's plenty of money to do this.
That's right. Yeah, it's a grant. I mean, they're going to keep replenishing it.
Okay. Well, it's actually better than, remember several years ago when they did the $8,000 tax credit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is way better than that, because I can't use $8,000 in tax credit for negotiating.
That's true.
I mean, they got to bring that $8,000 to closing, and they're not going to get it back till the next year's taxes are paid.
Right.
So this is money that I have sitting on the table right now that I know it, the other agent knows it, the buyer and the seller knows it. And you're right. We don't have to worry about, are they going to find their 3.5% for the VA, or is mama going to give it to them, or where's it going to show up? Because I promise you, the lenders are going to have to see that money. You're not going to say, okay, well, I'll just bring you a check. No, It's trust but verify, correct?
That's right.
You can't say that's right. Expand.
Trust but verify.
I like that. I'm going to break him in right, Wendy.
Hey, Bill, I just want to throw out there, you were talking about those two bond programs, and even the city has another program.
Oh, my goodness.
And that's up to $10,000. A little more strict income requirements, but it just shows you that there are so many different programs out there, and we stay on top of those.
Yeah.
So you just don't know what you qualify for until you come in and talk to us.
Y'all know Audie. Both of y'all know Audie in our office, and, and Holly and over there. Well, Audie always does a thing on our team meetings called Street Smart. I don't know where he came up with that name.
That's pretty clever.
Main Street. Where did he get that? I'm sure it's a street somewhere. But I want to talk about real estate affordability, and this is fascinating. Down at the bottom right, and help me out, Jason. I'm trying to read.
In 1981.
In 1981, it took 36% of household income to buy a house. Wendy. 36%. What was it in 2006?
26% of household income.
26%. What is it today?
It only takes 12% today.
Of household income to own a house today. And it's a combination of a lot of things. First, inventory, market absorption. We're our days on the market are getting less and less and less. Price is comparable to 03 or 04, Jason. I mean, just the price of the house and the interest rates. Y'all, we're talking 3.25% VA loans.
That's right. Interest rates are phenomenal.
Never in our lifetime will we see this again unless the country's just broke. I mean, gone, and then ain't nobody going to be able to get qualified anyway, so what difference does that make? But 3.5% interest, I don't think that the people that have come into the home buying place in the last 5 or 6 years understand what that means, because it's unbelievable.
No, if you're a first-time home buyer and we're telling you your interest rate's going to be 3.25%, 3.5%, talk to your parents, see what their interest rates were when they bought their home.
Yeah, especially in the late 70s, early 80s. 13% VA loan, 1979, trust me. And the houses were still selling, nothing like today. But think of that cost of ownership. I mean, the payments, of course, the houses in 1979, a nice house was $50,000, but still 13.5% interest. It's unbelievable. Don't miss this time. I'm begging you, if you got children, if you got nieces, if you got nephews, if you got whatever you got in your family that has not come into and researched and found out about what it takes to buy a home, Mama and Daddy, wake them up, get them out of the bed, tell them to go talk to University Lending, and see about getting qualified. Go to PensacolaHome.com, start looking for houses, find what you're looking for, find a bunch of them. We'll let you know what it's going to cost you to own it, but thousands of people are sitting there, Don and Jason, not knowing they can buy a home. They're thinking that they can't. Well, their thinking is stinking. I mean, it really is. It's not true. It's a simple phone call.
Yep. First step is just call us up. It's completely confidential. It's free. We'll go over everything with you. We'll answer any questions you have. We're happy to help in any way.
It is such an easy thing to do. Such an easy thing to do. Don, we've covered the bond money. We pretty much there's just lots and lots of money out there for folks to buy.
Yeah, there is.
We've covered rural development. FHA. We know FHA is 3.5% down all over anywhere.
Yeah.
What we were talking about? What's the maximum limit on a VA loan?
The maximum loan limit is $417,000.
Say that one more time.
$417,000.
That's a lot of house in this market.
It is,
and that's some of them really nice nature trail houses.
That's right, and I'd also like to mention a myth that a lot of people have out there, and that is that you can only use a VA loan one time. That is not true. And even if you currently own a home in which you have a VA loan, that does not mean you cannot buy another home using the VA loan without selling that other one. So if you have questions like that, please give us a call.
Well, see there, the answer is always no until you ask. And most people, we were talking about this last week, and it's true every week. Most people don't know what they don't know. I mean, they don't. They have no concept about the markets, the bond money, the this and that and the other, and so they just do not know what they don't know. It's a simple thing to do.
And I'd also like to say it's always changing, so even if your family members are telling you this or that may be available, you'll want to give us a call and let us tell you what's available now.
It is true. Listen, thank you, too, for being here. Jason, it's such a pleasure to have you here. Don, go back and change the diapers.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
It is so good. Wendy, thank you so much for having me. It is always such a pleasure to be here. My name is Bill Sheffield. You can call me at 261-5133. You can go to my website, PensacolaHome.com, search all of the homes that are active in the Pensacola MLS. Please go to Facebook and like my page. We've been putting lots of updates and pictures, and you can probably find a picture of me on there, Pensacola Home on Facebook right now, I'm sure. So give me a call. Let me put you in touch with the folks that can answer the lending questions, and let me answer all of the questions you have, and put your mind at ease about just how easy it is for you to buy a home now. It's far simpler than you think. It's what I do for a living, because you know why? Where there's a bill,
there's a way.
There's a way. Wendy, thank you so much for having us. It's been a pleasure being here.
And what is that website again, Bill?
PensacolaHome.com. Home is singular.
Okay.
PensacolaHome.com.
All right. I appreciate you being here.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right. on rainy days like this? Are people calling you?
Absolutely.
Good.
A lot of times I don't want to go look at houses because we can't get out of the truck, but that's another story.
You can drive around and look.
We can. Thank you.
That's right. Thanks, Bill. Folks, have a great rest of your Thursday.